Watch. Prince Harry, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker's relatively speedy when you know journey to married life started with a tequila-fueled trial run at a Las Vegas wedding chapel in April. They didn't officially become husband and wife until May 15 when they said "I do" at a Santa Barbara, Calif. courthouse, after which they resealed the deal May 22 in front of a glamorous group of family and friends in Portofino, Italy, part of a lavish weekend of boat rides, gelato runs, cases of champagne and countless outfit changes. After all that excitement and having one occasion after another to look forward to, they also managed to squeeze in date night at the Met Gala. Mr. and Mrs. Barker would be forgiven if they got home and just hit the wall. Which, they kinda did. Private jet lag is still jet lag, but they hit it together, and the honeymoon phase continues. They are exhausted from the events and have been settling back into reality at home, a Kourtney source tells E! News, but she has been radiating pure happiness since getting back from Italy. She loves that it's official and says it was one of the best weeks of her life. Overall, the insider described, they've been adjusting really well and it's as if nothing has really changed. As in, they remain inseparable and really cute together, and are always showing PDA no matter who is around. Plus, the source added, Kourtney is glowing and has been having a ball, jokingly referring to herself as a wifey. Why, it's almost as if she was meant to be Travis' spouse all along. Since letting it be known for sure in January 2021 that they were no longer just longtime friends, Kourtney, 43, and Travis, 46, wasted no time dilly-dallying on the betrothed forever. First came the flamboyant PDA shots steaming up Instagram that suggested that these two were having a great time together. Their respective posts were soon captioned with heady declarations of love, and Kourtney's sprawling family had obviously given their blessing to the match by the time Travis popped the question with a 6-carat diamond on October 17. The ring has been fixed since Kourtney accidentally stepped on it after taking the bauble off for a bit to fold clothes. At the same time, the new couple were navigating the logistical challenges that come with blending families. Kourtney is mom to sons Mason, 12, and Rain, 7, and daughter Penelope, 9, with former partner Scott Disick, while Travis is father to son Landon, 18, and daughter Alabama, 16, with ex-wife Shanna Moakler, and is a still devoted stepdad to 23-year-old Atiana de la Hoya, Moakler's daughter with boxer Oscar de la Hoya. Red carpet appearances, TikTok hilarity, ski trips and excursions to Disneyland helped create some new happy memories while they balanced their respective busy schedules and family time with excursions for just the two of them. I would say, have the conversations and check in with each other, Kourtney told Gwyneth Paltrow on the June 2 episode of the Goop podcast. Even this morning, I said to my kids, how does everyone feel about everything? Just to check in, or do you guys have any questions? Also, being a step-parent is obviously a new thing, she added. I think one blessing is that we had a relationship before. We were friends for 8 years in. Travis' children would come over and do gingerbread houses and carve pumpkins on all the holidays and stuff. As far as alone time with her beloved goes, Kourtney said she had way less guilt about being out of town for a few days here and there because her kids were with their dad, one of the benefits of having a co-parent, both ladies agreed. Kourtney described her current dynamic with Scott as super easy and friendly, telling Gwyneth, whom she's teamed with on the Goop X Poosh brand, this smells like my pushy candle, that, having watched her own parents have a solid post-divorce relationship, there's no reason not to be, or at least try to keep it as cool as you can for the kids. All 6 were in Italy to watch their parents tie the knot, Alabama's Instagram story providing the world with the first glimpse of the bride in her wedding dress, as well as a number of other VIP shots from inside the festivities. Scott was invited but chose to skip watching his ex marry someone else, Kourtney having figured he wouldn't actually want to attend. Since Kourtney and Travis have been celebrating their love for months now, it's been easier for him to cope with the actual nuptials, a source told E! News last month. It's not as hurtful and he's getting through it. When the couple got engaged last year, Scott told Khloe Kardashian, as seen on Hulu's The Kardashians, "I thought that they'd already be married by now, the way Thatch was talking. It wasn't crazy. Thank God, because at another time in my life, if I'd heard that, life would have been over for me. But now," he said, "I kind of, in a selfish way, feel like a lot has been lifted off of me. I couldn't do the job of being with her, so I salute Travis Hesson for a lot of work. Kourtney is not the simplest when it comes to everything." Well, that's one mom's perspective. Up until now, I date girls that didn't have kids, and I find it kind of hard because I think they would have trouble understanding, like, well, why don't you want to go to dinner every night with me? Or why don't you want to see me every night? Travis reflected on the Drew Barrymore show in March. "And now I am spending time with a woman who's a great mom, who's a great friend. And you don't have to worry about any of those things. It just comes natural. It's like a maturity thing. And I also really like missing someone and cherishing the time that I spend with them instead of, every day being with them, especially in the beginning of the relationship. I think missing someone is so important. Any time they spent apart apparently made the heart grow intensely fonder." Just weeks after Travis gave that interview, a source told E! News, he has gone all out to shower Kourtney with love, affection, flowers and gifts. He is very into her and waited a long time to be able to show her how much he cares. He wants to spend all of his time with her and is constantly telling her how much he loves her. And Kourtney, who'd gotten a reputation over the years for being the more reserved member of the Kardashian fam, was all in, too, and she didn't care who knew it. They have a long history, so it's been easy and comfortable, the source shared. They're moving quickly because they know each other so well. Everything seems to click and they are both very happy. Just a few months in, Kourtney had expressed that she would absolutely marry him. A little more than a year later, they signed up for Till Death Do Us Part, and, after their vows in Italy, Kourtney added Barker to her name on Instagram. But even now, left over from the lives they built before their paths crossed for good, they still maintain their own immaculately appointed homes in Calabasas. While the big picture plan is to consolidate, the Kourtney source tells E! that they're not in any rush to unload either place. They have a good system down with the kids and merging families, and spend time at both of their houses, the insider explained. They've made the kids feel at home at both. The plan is for them to be under one roof eventually, but for now they all go back and forth since the homes are nearby. Both of them love their homes and they're keeping them for now. They love having family dinners all together and spending quality time. If you've been keeping up with Kourtney for a while, you're probably familiar with her enviable abode. Meanwhile, Travis is seen on TV Residence of 16. Years been fully remodeled since the days when Landon and Alabama were skateboarding and riding dirt bikes down the hall. He recently opened the door to Architectural Digest to show off a light, airy space decorated in neutral tones that you might not necessarily guess would reflect the heavily tattooed musician's style. But take a look around and you see the drums and guitars, the punk-themed artwork, the original piece over the fireplace illustrating 5 albums that inspired him, a Christmas gift from Kourtney, and the towering piles of t-shirts in his massive closet. The Blink-182 rocker explained that he was going for a zen vibe in his living room so he'd have a restful place to unwind, whether after long nights at the studio or weeks away on tour. Having a clean space allows him to think, he said, and doesn't crowd my vibe. Nowadays, even though she technically lives somewhere else, most of his downtime includes Kourtney, who was perched on the spacious center island drinking a cup of her then fiancé's famous matcha when the AD tour made its way into the kitchen. After a long, stressful day, I love spending time with Kourtney and our families. Travis, who last year launched his own line of CBD-infused self-care products, Barker Wellness Company, told InStyle in April. I look forward to any quality time we get to spend together. And they're both the very definition of geographically desirable. We live a block away from each other, so that's why we're kind of in that place of, like, everyone loves their own home. Kourtney noted on the Goop podcast. And then the days when, my kids, at their dad's, I can always be there. I think it's hard to know what's the right thing to do, what's the best thing to do. We're like, let's have rooms at each house, let's make a bunk bedroom. So I think we're taking steps, but we're also really mindful of everyone also being happy and not feeling out of place. Basically, she explained, we also are not putting a ton of pressure on ourselves to make a forced or really fast decision, so we're kind of like, let's just take our time and see what feels best. And also if we found a perfect home or something like that, I am sure that we would also do that, where everyone feels that it's everyone's, instead of like, we're moving to your house, or you're moving to our house. Travis showed Architectural Digest where each of their kids sits, and it literally doesn't change, it's the same seating arrangement every time, at the long dining room table where they all gather for big Sunday meals, when they just talk and put our phones away, and eat delicious vegan food. I do like to entertain, he added, and we have friends and guests over for dinner, but I also don't like too many people in my home because it is where I go to get peace of mind and relax. And I am never here, so when I am here I want to make it count. Wherever Travis and Kourtney are, the good times are only multiplying.